that one's pewter, isn't? No, that's stone. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Here.
Not that one.
Turned on too early.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I think we've got it all. We have 18 people already. Good morning. Maggie is here, and she has another awesome project, and I am going to turn it over to Teresa. So it's going to be Teresa and Maggie today, and you can show, where is your project's over here.
Right here.
Okay, so there you go. Okay. And I did say where we're from or anything. Okay, so you guys
Oh,
are
here.
summary bound
Here, Diane.
in Iowa. Yeah, we can't lose this.
No.
Middle of the state, in the middle of the country or something.
Yes, we're the heartland.
Here, can you hold this for a minute? I can't get my microphone on. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to mic up and.
Here, let me just mic you up.
Okay.
There you go.
This is the project that Maggie is going to show you today. There are not instructions in the kit.
These are going to be your instructions today.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that.
And there's other things that you can make with this beautiful line. Maggie's made some wonderful things. Happy Friday. All right, we're going to show you some other things first. You want to start with the special?
Yes, the special this week is regular price $264.95. This week for $179.99. It is the Big Shot Express, which means it's 9 inches wide. Is that correct? I think so. And
it's electronic.
Electronic. So no more of this, Teresa.
Yeah.
So that's a really good deal for anybody who is in need of a machine at a good price. Okay.
Regularly, it's like
Yes, $264.99. Okay, we're going to start with, we showed these yesterday.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Yes, and Teresa, I started to watch the video. I didn't get all the way through. So I'm waiting. I've been introduced to them, but I'm waiting to see the makes,
Yes.
which I'm sure
I
are
bought
exciting.
some and I took it home and I just scribbled a little bit. I haven't made anything yet, but I think I'm going to like them.
What people want to know is there's 3 sets.
Yes.
And he chose, this is what I learned on the video.
Yeah.
He chose colors for each set so that you would have a little bit of Roy G. Biv
Yes.
in each set, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But set 1 is the one with the black and white.
Yeah.
So
that's the one I started with, but I'll probably end up getting the other one.
yes. Okay, okay, set 1. Here's the difference. That's set 1. Set.
I think
Okay.
they're back there behind.
Oh, these are all. Oh, here's set 2. Okay, so this is what I learned by watching the video, was that he tried to put a little bit of color in each one. So you get a little red or pink, orange, yellow, green, and so he picked out 3 different sets with three different sets of colors. But you're not going to get all browns and beiges or whatever in one, or all blues. So that was kind of cool. He thought that through.
And if you flip it over, the packaging on the back stays on the package, so you know what color is in each package. And it has the name.
So when you get done and you want to put them away, you have this.
And the pencils do have the name on the pencil as well. So if you are looking to coordinate, and he's not sure if he's going to have all the colors in pencils or not. He said that these are the ones that he couldn't live without. If Ranger decides not to do any more pencils, then these are the colors.
That's how he chose them.
Yes, he couldn't live without.
And we had a couple people calling yesterday and wanting to know if they went with the Distress inks. And yes, they're the exact same colors, same name. as his distress ink. So it all coordinates with the distress line.
Yep.
So that's the answer to that question. Okay, moving on to color. Yesterday or the day before, we showed all the new film strips and the tickets for 49 in Market. And we also have rub-ons that go with, I'm not sure if we have every single color, but this one is the fern one, so you have rub-ons with the fern. And what I like about it, it's not just little splotches of color. You get your text and the little textures behind it, so that's kind of cool. So it kind of blends with other colors. We have fern, plum, and these are all $5.99, and you get, what do you get? 2 6x8 sheets.
So the back's different than the front.
Yes, so you get splotches of color, and then you get some butterflies. And sometimes all you want is just a little bit of texture in the background, and that's what this gives you. We've got citrus.
I know, there's a lot of glare.
Oh, sorry.
I'm trying, I just can't.
Does that help?
Maggie's moving around a lot.
Okay.
There.
Citrus, that's the back. You get one of each design.
Thank you.
Okay, and this one to me would go with a lot of things. This is hickory.
Can you
And
show fern again? I don't think
We
I
sure
got
can. There's fern.
It. There we go. Just because green's my favorite color.
There you go. See, now you would take that, and I probably would take
The
probably the hickory and the citrus, right? This is citrus. Look at those. Aren't those gorgeous for fall?
Very nice.
And then the last one, I love the name, salsa.
Mm-hmm.
But this is for when you want to just add that little bit of something in the background.
Yeah. It's just missing something.
Even an envelope.
Oh, yeah.
Put it on the back of the envelope or down in the corner of the front. Okay. These are Reminisce, and this is a line called Cozy Fall. Remember that word cozy the other day? Cozy Fall, and I can't remember what the Norwegian name for it is. And this is the Reminisce line in the Cozy Fall kit. You get 8, is that glaring? 8 12 by 12 papers, 2 sheets per design, and 1 coordinating sticker sheet. And we're going to show you what's in there. This is the sticker sheet. This is such pretty colors. It does make you feel cozy. And look at this. Everybody is always asking for border strips. Look at all the different border strips that you could use. And you get 2 on the other side. Gosh, these are pretty colors. I would buy this one just to cut the strips up. I love it. And that's what's nice. You get 2, so you get to keep one intact and one not. This is one side, and you have to have a plaid. Look at that plaid. Get 2 of those, and of course, cut-aparts, which are nice in the fact that they are 3 by 3s. 3 by 3s are hard to come by.
You don't get those very often.
They're really nice for coasters and card fronts and little gift tags. You don't get 3 by 3 very often. And on the back of that is this. And then this one is called Autumn Days with the pumpkins. And on the other side of that is a nice neutral. And that is the Cozy Fall Kit by Reminisce. And it comes $12.99 for this set. Give my glaring. And then you can also get it in the little 6x6 pads. And it looks like it also comes, I wonder how big those little cut-aparts would be. But that would be nice for layering to get those. Should we look it up? Just see what size they are? I'm curious.
1 by 1? I don't know.
Let's see. I'm curious because for layering, it would be.
Pretty small.
See the little, look at that for little borders on your cards.
They're there.
They are. Look at that.
Oh, they're,
On tags. Wouldn't that be cute?
so they're bigger
Oh.
because it's 6 by 6, right? And there's 4, so
You still get your
1.5, 4, 5.
yeah,
6,
1.5 by 1.5. Yes.
Math.
There's our math.
All right.
That math you said you were never going to use someday. Okay. And then
Okay. So,
What? Do we
she's
not
saying
have some?
your mic is not working.
Whoop,
Is
sorry,
she
guys.
seeing your? Is she seeing? You are seeing comments.
I didn't see that. I saw that we were glaring. But... All right.
Okay.
I
Just
unplugged
ask,
it. I
Ask them if they can hear you now.
okay.
Diane,
I
did
hope
these
everyone
come
can hear me.
I don't know. I didn't check it in.
Okay.
I redid my mic, so hopefully
Okay.
they can hear me.
And for those of you who love fall and the fall colors, Reminisce has this line. It looks like oil paintings.
Okay, I'm good. All right.
It
Sorry.
looks like oil paintings. Isn't that just beautiful?
Yeah.
Front and back. Look at this. This is kind of a
Oh.
Van Gogh look.
That is very pretty.
This one, oh my gosh, these are just beautiful. There's that one. I kind of feel like I'm at a Van Gogh exhibit here,
Mm-hmm.
which I hear is going on in Omaha.
Chris went and saw it.
Yes, and this is an October Roads kit, which I'm assuming, yes, that's what this is. It comes in the kit, October Roads. There we go. In the kit, you get 8 12 by 12 papers, 2 sheets per design, and a sticker sheet that goes with it. And that's called October Roads. And I don't know what the price is on that one. I'm assuming it would probably be the same as this one, Cozy Fall. And that was
Then there's
$12.99.
pictures on this stuff yet, but there will be
Pictures.
On with online.
Okay.
Online, there aren't pictures, but there will be eventually.
Yes.
We're working on it.
And-
It's brand new, so
This, I'm going to take this out because I don't want it to glare. Here again are little 3 by 3, and these are stickers. Perfect for the fronts of cards,
yeah.
fronts of coasters. I'm always thinking of coaster designs. Look at all the choices. You could make up a set of 20 cards. Is that 20? 1, 2, 3, 4.
5.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. 20 cards.
Wait, more math.
Oh my gosh. You're never too old to play in the leaves. Fall, be like up and autumn. Oh, that's cute. Autumn vibes. I still fall for you every day. Fall in love. And look at, they're just stickers, so you just put them on the front of your cards. And then we have this set. It's called Mountains Calling Kit. And these are the papers. Again, this one now is not stickers, but it's the same concept.
The other ones are glossy because they're stickers, but those are cut apart, so they're
Look
not
at the back
glossy.
of this. This one's called Mountain Ridge.
Wait, they're correcting us, Maggie. There's
Uh-oh.
only 4 by 4. That's 16.
No, because some of them are smaller.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4. 20. Some of them are smaller, some
Oh,
are.
well, this one's-
These are 3
there's
by
only
3s,
4,
but then
yeah.
these are smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
They're
did my
saying
math
16.
correctly.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's 20 because these are smaller up here, so you're getting 3 rows of this and only 2 rows of this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Back to the mountains. The mountains are calling. Look at that. Wouldn't that be a nice background on a card? These are the Rocky Mountains, so if you're going out to Colorado, Oh, there's our wood. I like
wood
that.
cabin.
Yes. And this is mountain sky, which I think oops, and that's the back of that. Again, now this one does have 16. And it says, life is not measured by the breaths that we take, but by the moments that take our breath away.
I like that.
The mountains are my happy place. Difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. So if you're into hiking in the mountains, that would be a great kit. And these are the stickers that go with it. Can you see that without glare? I'm not going to count these, but these are all stickers also that go with that kit.
I like the bear.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. These are all reminisce. We have a whole set of adoption papers. So if you have a need for adoption papers, isn't that cute? We always have people coming in for adoption. Look at the cards that you could make with these. 16. Happy family. Isn't that neat? And adoption is love. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I like that. So those are all in this. Oh, that's the sticker sheet. Again, those are stickers now. Some were stickers and some weren't. This one is, looks like retro. Love the 50s. Oh, we have a lot of people coming in and asking for 50s stuff. Can you see that without a glare? Do you need me to pull it out? Oh, wait, here. Here they are. Okay, so we have dice with hearts. Look at that. So if you're looking for a 50s vibe, popcorn and malts. Oh, the malt shop. A little, I don't know whether that's race car driving or the floor of a old diner. Probably the floor of the old diner. Look at that. And records. We always have people coming in and wanting 50s and 60s stuff. So that's perfect. And these are the stickers that go with it. Can you see that without glare?
Nope. There.
And that's called Rockabilly. The Rockabilly kit comes with the stickers and the papers we just showed you. Here's Oktoberfest, and that is an Oktoberfest kit. So in the kit are the papers. Have you ever gone to an Oktoberfest, Teresa?
No. Have you?
I have not. I've seen pictures from people who do. That's usually what they're drinking right there. Pictures of beer.
Oh, I got the pretzel paper.
Pretzels. That's a nice background. And I don't know what Prost means. Does it mean beer? Drink?
I'm not sure.
A toast? Maybe it's a toast. And there's the background. And here's the sticker sheet that goes with that.
Was the adoption paper, that was just individual papers, right?
Not
a kit.
I didn't see it as a kit, but maybe, I don't know, I've got it so messed up. I didn't see it as a kit.
Okay. Individual papers, we think,
Yeah.
and then sticker sheet.
I'll have to look
People
at that
think
one.
that it means cheers, Maggie. I think that's what they're
that
saying.
makes sense. Oh, I learned a new word today. Prost. Prost. Okay, this one is called Simple Vintage 1. This would be a great background paper. These are individual sheets, I believe. All of these would be great backgrounds. Simple Vintage 2. If you're looking for a neutral background for anything. All these just simple vintage. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's 4. This one's 5. And I believe these are just individuals too, although we have a little 6x6 pad of these. I love that one. Here's the 6x6 pad of the simple vintage. Perfect for coasters, backgrounds of cards. So you get a smaller scale. I'll leave these here. And this one is the Get Fit kit.
Really a glare. I can't.
Am I doing it yet?
No, just.
Does that
I'm
help?
just going to zoom in because I can't really see sneakers. Are you going to
I
show
can
each
show
paper?
the individual too. Just wanted to show you that
It's
it was
not
a kit.
working.
Okay. These are the stickers. Again, use them for cards. I don't sweat. I sparkle. Don't
tell people your dreams. Show them.
Oh, I couldn't read it. I didn't see that extra T. Eat clean, train dirty. Oh, eat clean, train dirty. Got to leave that pause in there. Your body can do it. It's time to convince your mind. So these are the papers. This is all part of that Get Fit. What do they call this? Is that diamond plate?
Looks like bike tread to me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And weights. Boy, getting all sorts of new areas for people. Are those... Oh, those
Weights.
are weights.
Dumbbells.
Yes.
Or the, I don't know what they call that. Not
Yeah.
a dumbbell. It's a,
I
is that
know.
a dumbbell? I don't know.
Those look like the weights that are sitting down by my husband's office. They kind of just sit there. It looks good. I love this one.
That's pretty.
Yeah. In the back, kind of the opposite. I like that. Tennis shoes. There we go. And one more. Christmas. It's called Nutcracker. The Nutcracker. So if you happen to go to the Nutcracker and want to scrap it, and there are stickers. Oh, I like that. So if you had a picture of you and someone close that went to the Nutcracker with you, that'd be a perfect place to put your photo. And then it does come with a set of stickers. And again, can you get that without glare?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's all Reminisce.
Somebody
questions?
said that dumbbell is a doorstop.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect thing to use it for. Okay, let's
Yeah.
move on here. I was so excited
Just
to
some-
see these come back in because
Yeah.
this is one of my favorite stencils of Tim's.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I
I
love
have
it.
the small one. I like it too.
Yes, and I love the extra little dots and stuff. It makes it just look just fallish. So that, don't know what the price is, but that is back. Here's a chevron. It's a
Did
more
you
of a
want to say
distress.
what number that is?
Yes. It is called Autumn Layering Stencil THS 060. And this is a chevron. It's called Zigzag Layering Stencil THS 047. And what's nice about this is it's a little distress. It's not perfect lines. This one is Gatherings THS 152. That would be pretty background. This one is another one of my favorites. I use it a lot. It's called Speckles. It's for when you want just a little bit of texture in your background, but you don't want it to be perfect, and it's all different sizes. So if you want smaller, you can use this part. If you want a little bit bigger, you can use this part. And it is Speckles THS 021. This is a great go-to stencil
Yeah.
for
I
everything.
have that one too.
Okay, We have,
These are just some older stamps.
oh, I like this one. I haven't seen this one for a while. This one is called School Desk, CMS 057. Look at this. Just for
Can't
some
see it.
background. Sorry, I'm sorry.
You're looking at it, but it's angled. There we go.
And this would be perfect for journaling for pages. You could just stamp a whole bunch of those. We were looking for something like that, that you could just stamp a bunch of little cards to put in your scrapbooking. Here's the Halloween Bold Tidings, Bold Frights. Can you see it?
Yep.
It's just a bunch of hocus pocus.
It's a good one. I have that one, and it's
Yes.
easy just to make a card. If it's, you put it on the front, you can put a pumpkin or something on it, or
And you've got it
a
done.
ghost, and it makes an easy card.
It covers up a lot of real estate.
It does. A fast
Are
card.
you a Hocus Pocus fan?
Yes.
Number 2's coming up.
Oh, I
We're going to have a
know.
movie watch at our
I
house.
know.
And here's a background stamp called Lumberjack. The plaid and the wood. That's always nice to have. And this one is called Autumn Blueprint.
Blueprints are old favorites.
Yes. And there again, these are nice and big. All you have to do is just put it on the front of your card and color it. And
Yeah.
guess what? You could use
Ooh.
your watercolors.
The watercolor pencils would be awesome with those.
That would be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't, you don't have to do anything but print this on watercolor paper, color it, cut it out, and put it on the background, and you've got a card.
Yeah.
That would be really fun for practicing with your watercolors.
Yep.
Okay, Kelly, you know Kelly loves her honeybee gems. She wanted to make sure that we had enough, because didn't they say they were going not to be making these anymore? So if for nothing else but just the names of the sets, like this one is called Raw Honey, and you could get one in every set, and then you'd have gems for everything. This one is called Autumn Afternoon, Birthday Bash, Farm Fresh Holiday. That's pretty colors. And those are $4.99. So stock up on those. Beach Vibes. That's really pretty. I could go on and on just
Yes.
the names. Okay.
I'm ready to start the project.
All right. Did we catch everything?
Yes.
Okay. We're ready.
Again, this is what Maggie's going to be showing us today.
Okay, Teresa, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make some coasters, and Kelly challenged me to using, she says, have you ever thought of using more than one coaster? And so I took that challenge and I came up with this. And basically what this is two 4x6, I call them 4x6, they're more 4x5.5 coasters, and a 4x4. And I put them together. There's the backing. And I used basically two things. I bought a set of 6x8 collection pack because I liked being able to have smaller sets of all the different pages. And then I purchased the Serenity chipboard set. The other thing I could have used in this project was the ephemera bits too. So what I like to do when a new line comes in, I like to get the 6x8 and then the ephemera bits or the chipboard bits. And I fell in love with this color scheme because you could make it spring, you could make it summer, you could actually make it fall and winter if you wanted to. I made this little one right here, and if you did not use the butterfly and use something else, you could easily make this Christmas. And that's what I like about this line. It's called Serenity by 49 and Market. And the kit today, I'm going to show you how to make this. And we did make it into kits. This is going to be considered your directions because we did not type up directions for this kit. We typed up what you would need to make it, and everything that you need is in there. including a whole package of the chipboard bits.
Ooh.
So
Nice.
in here you get the whole package. So I'm going to show you, in this kit you will get the big blue sheet, which is the backing. You'll get 2 4x5.5 coasters. You'll get a 4x4 coaster. You will get the one floral sheet and then the gray sheet. Plus, if you'll notice, in your kit you will see a little piece of washi tape, a couple pieces. Under that washi tape is your hardware.
So don't lose that.
Don't lose your
Don't
hardware.
rip your washi tape off.
Yes, you'll get 2 little brads and then a clip, mini clip.
I love those
So
mini
that's
clips.
what's in there.
All right.
So don't lose that.
And we've still got those to sell, so you can always go back and
Yes.
watch this video.
And make your own.
Fast forward through the intro.
So the kits are available. We have a limited quantity on these, $17.99 for the kit. And for those of you who are buying the kit today, I actually had an extra piece of blue in there, and it was just the right size for another coaster, so I threw it in there. So you do have an extra sheet in your kit today. Just because I didn't want to just throw them away. So you have a starter for your next coaster.
The kits are online, right? They're
They
under
should be online under kits.
kits, I would
think.
assume.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I wanted to show
There you
you
go. Janet linked it.
this Serenity chipboard kit. I want you to see this because in your kit you'll get this whole package. But I made 1, 2, 3, 4 things, and look at what I have left. I have all of this left.
You still have that
all
left?
of this, yes. So I wanted to show you that you could really create. And somebody asked me yesterday, well, how do you know how to layer, and how you know? You don't know until you do it. But the best thing that I learned was I just took this package. This was my inspiration. I just took the package and I laid them all out, and I just laid everything out so I could see it. And then that encourages you to kind of play with, oh, what would this look like here? Or what would this look like? And so if you didn't take these out and look at them, you might go in, oh, I'm looking for this one piece. Well, you're missing the opportunity to do a few what ifs, like what if I put this here, and what if I put this here. So I wanted to share with you that this is how much I have left. So I've got enough to make
Lots of things.
lots of things. And what's really cool about this is they make these interchangeable. So if you wanted a 2-color thing, you can or pull it out of this, like this came out of there, and this one was in there. So you can mix and match. They give you plenty of these. Some are marked, some are not, like this one. And if you wanted to, you could do this. So you can do lots of different things. It comes with some hearts, which I used on here, and then I believe I used 2 more on here, and then I used 1 over there. So it comes with quite a few hearts, lots of butterflies. If you didn't want it to be, if you wanted it to be more Christmassy, you could use not use the butterflies or make them sparkly. And
This is a coaster too. Someone
It
wanted
is.
to know. We have round coasters.
yes, those are the 3 sizes. We have the 4x5.5, the 4x4, and I believe those are probably 3x3s. No, they're about 4. 4 inch. Yes.
You know what I do with the chipboard when I pour it out? I put all the circles together.
Oh.
All the
See, now
Like
I
whatever
just
these
kind
are,
of lay them out.
I put
and
all these
play.
together, and and then I know what different shapes I have.
Yeah. See, I kind of
It depends on how your brain. Mine is a left-handed brain, so
Yeah, I kind of just do this, and it
Okay.
kind of just gives me ideas of how to use that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, we did not put the directions, so this video are your directions today. This is what you're going to get in your kit. You'll get a photo, And so what I did is just to speed it along a little bit is I wanted to share with you. When I did mine, I started out with this, the 6x8 collection. So if you have that 6x8 collection, you can use these, or for the kits, just to make them more economical, I did use 12x12 papers. So these are the 4 that are going to be used in the kit. This is the background. This, I didn't use the blue is the back of the coasters. This is the mat for the picture right here. And then this is the little floral. So if you want to just use a 6x8 kit, you can. In the kit, we use the 12x12s. Okay, so these are my two 4x5.5, and I've already covered them and sanded them. So
What did you cover them with?
I covered them with this paper right here. So I just chose just a neutral background. So yours might look a little different because of the different part that got cut. But it's just a neutral background that has a little bit going on to give it some texture. Okay, so this is your backgrounds. These are your two 4x5.5. I covered those. I left this one so I could show you the process. So this is the 4x4. So what I use is multi-medium matte or distress collage medium. Either one of those could be used. And I use my collage brush, which is, I forgot to bring some over, but this is one of the best brushes I've ever used for this. Okay, so we're just going to cover your coaster, and you want to get clear to the edges. You don't want to spend a lot of time brushing it in because this is porous, and if you brush and brush and brush, it will just soak it up and it won't stick to the paper very well. Okay, so we've got that, and if you've used your brush and you don't want it to dry out with that, just have a little thing of water. And so then we're going to put this piece of floral, and that's this piece right here. And what I like to do is I like to take just a piece of paper towel. It's a really good way to press your paper onto your surface. It gets all the bubbles, air bubbles out. The number one thing that gives you air bubbles is if you let parts of your glue dry before you lay it on there. So you want to do it right away, and you want to have a good layer of your matte medium. And then if you want to speed up that process, we can just take a heat tool. Now this is the same process as I did with these two. These are just already pre-done, some behind the camera work.
Now,
Okay.
somebody puts their brush in a sandwich baggie, or I know you can wrap like a baby wipe around it if you're going to use it again.
That's a great idea, because sometimes what I have to do is after I put it in water, then I'll have to dry it out really well.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Sometimes a baby wipe just keeps it moist enough not
Yeah.
to dry, and you can still use it.
Because believe me, you do not want that to dry.
No, you don't want to ruin. They're nice brushes. You don't want to ruin them.
Okay, notice when I was drying this, I kept it about 3-4 inches away, and I kept it moving, because that matte medium will burn if it gets too hot. So you don't want to cook it. You just want to dry it. Okay, so once that's dry, and this is the same process as I used for over here, you just sand it around the edges to basically to remove the excess paper. And I've shown this before, but I do this with all my coasters because I feel like as someone said, it marries the paper to the coaster instead of looking like, oh look, they just glued some paper on a coaster. Now it becomes part of the coaster. Can you see why I pre-did those other two?
Yeah. Takes a little bit of time.
Yes. And the
That's
one
the
thing
fun part.
is you do want to dry this really well, because if it's still wet when you do this, and sometimes I get a little impatient, it will tear, and sometimes tears are okay. Okay, so then once I...
somebody wants to know if they can use their fan to dry it. You can just let it naturally dry, because
totally.
she said her heat gun's too hot.
just
So
let
you
it
can
dry.
just let it dry. Work on something else and then come back to it.
Yeah, just let it dry.
Yeah.
The one thing that you want to do then after you've removed the excess paper is I kind of go towards the front so that I take off a little bit of that paper.
You angle it towards the paper.
Yes, so that you end up with this look. You end up with a slight border actually, and sometimes I don't ink this. Sometimes I just like the looks of that without inking. So you can ink it or not ink it, but it kind of frames it. But see how that looks like it's part of the coaster now? Okay, then the color of ink that I like to use with this line is called pumice stone. I've kind of gone to pumice stone a lot, especially with a lighter color palette. And so what you want to do is just ink around the edges and hold it in your hand. Don't do this, because if you do this you end up with this brown frame around it, and you really don't want that look. You want it to just be edged, and if you hold it in your hand and go like this, you'll get that softness around there.
Maggie, have you ever put pictures on these coasters and then sealed it to make a real coaster?
You could. These coasters are pretty much meant to be absorbent, so you would really have to seal the front and the back. I don't, when they have them in bars, they're made to just soak up moisture
And throw away.
Yeah, so I don't know that I would put a photo on there and then take that chance. There is probably a clear coat that you could put on them, but I think you'd have to coat the sides, the back, everything. Okay, so see how that softens and frames the edges? We're going to do that here.
What's the sanding tool called that you
Oh, I
had?
forgot to bring one of those. It's,
You don't have any tools over here.
Yeah, I forgot.
Can you ring the bell? Woo! It's Friday.
Yes. Hello.
Well, everyone's busy.
Yes.
It'll be a minute.
Yes, we'll get some of those. I think they're only $1.99.
Yeah, they're not very much.
And believe me, they're the best sanding tool
Can you get
that
some
you
of
can
those
get.
brushes and
They're in
also
tools.
that
Oh, okay.
and the splat thing
A splat
and the
mat?
sprayer. But
The water.
Oh,
Oh,
this.
yeah.
she didn't.
I forgot all my tools today.
She was so focused on the paper because it's so beautiful.
It is. And I didn't work yesterday, so I didn't get to set up, and so I was a little bit in a hurry this morning. Okay, so again, if you were to lay this down and go like this, you end up with this brown frame, which is not what you want. You want just to have this soft edging, and pumice stone is wonderful for that because it's just a soft taupey brown, and it's a perfect color to go with this line. When I come around to the edges, I do it a little extra just to kind of come across like
You
that.
mean the corners?
What did I say?
Edges?
Corners.
I'm like, aren't they all edges?
Yes, when I come to the corners, and especially if you have a square corner, it softens it. So these are rounded, but I still kind of come across. There we go. So it looks more natural. Okay, So now we have our two backs, and we have our 4x4. And these are all pieces that are in your kit. Okay, so the next thing I did was, this is the part I wasn't quite sure how I was going to stabilize putting two of them together. So I came up with this idea, and in your kit you will get this blue sheet, and I adhered them like this, and we're going to use, see, probably shouldn't have put my brush in there, should I have? But see, if you do, you just do that with your paper towel. And so we're going to adhere these two 4x5.5 coasters. Again, don't spend a lot of time brushing it in, just get coverage on it. And you're not going to brush it in so thin. If you do it too thin, it will dry before you get it turned over, and that's where the air bubbles happen, especially when you're putting. So see, I don't leave globs, but I don't brush it in. So we're going to put, I have to make sure my words, some people get a little worried about those words being right side up.
We're just gonna.
There we are.
Got some tape rolls already, some runner rolls on the counter already. Okay.
So we're going to put both of those on.
We're looking at a few more things we might need here. Oh, absolutely. Okay. We'll have fun.
The thing about matte medium that I'm using is it dries matte, and it does both the Distress Collage Medium and this will shrink back a little bit as it dries. So sometimes if you feel like you have a little bit too much, it will shrink back as it dries. So can you see how I'm putting that on there? And we're going to press that to the back. And you could use any color you wanted to. I chose the darker blue. There is a more medium blue. And so until that gets a little tacky. Now, I could have used Distress Collage Medium. Distress Collage Medium tends to dry just slightly faster, but either one, depending on what I have open on my craft desk, is what I use. So make sure those corners are pressed down. And just make sure those two are just butted up against each other. Do we have any questions?
And the Timbolt's brushes.
Collage brush. Did she find some of those?
She's busy.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I could just keep pressing until I'm sure that it's firmly on there. And then we can dry it. And as we're drying it, since these coasters sometimes tend to not be totally flat, you want to just keep pressing on those corners as you're drying.
Do you need to dry it with a heat gun, or
You
can
do not. We
Okay.
could set this aside and
Let
let
it
it
dry
dry.
itself,
The
yeah.
only time I use the heat tool is basically to speed up the process. Thank you, Diane.
And Diane. All right. So Diane brought us some collage brushes. Since Maggie's drying, I'll just do a little commercial
There you
here. Oops, this one's upside down. So there's 3 sizes of collage brush. Which one were you using?
I'm
Oops.
using this,
My camera work
this
is-
one right here.
You were using the little one.
Yes.
There's a small, medium, and large. Or you can get a 3-pack, which is nice. That's what I bought for $14.99 because I like to have the variety.
Well, and that big one, if you're doing a big project, that's a quick way to
Yeah.
get something covered. Thanks, Diane.
And then they have the, you didn't say why they're special.
well, what's special about them is
Where'd your brush go?
it's
oh,
in
it's
this-
in your.
yeah. What Tim Holtz, what he made important part of this,
I think it's super cool.
it is, is he made it kind of hollow. Can you see? I don't know whether you can see. It's like
Yeah.
hollow in there. And he says that helps, you know, when you're pressing it, it's kind of, I don't know how he described it even, but it really does for matte medium. It's a great way to get the matte medium or the distress collage on your project. When I've taught classes before, somebody would come in with this tiny little paintbrush. Well, we were doing a big 8x10 canvas, and so it took forever. And this just, I don't know, how do you describe that? It just spreads it out.
Yeah,
so
and
easily.
it holds the stuff. The adhesive goes in that centerpiece, and then
Yeah.
it just spreads it nice and evenly.
Yeah.
I
So if
think.
you're doing a lot of adhering,
You got it.
Okay, so now
Somebody had a question about
Yes.
would you set something, if you're just letting it dry naturally, would you set something on top of it, like a book or something,
could.
just to flatten it?
you could.
Yeah.
You could. Lots of times what I do is I just kind of keep pressing until I finally feel like it's attached, and then you can let it sit and dry. This is my favorite tool in the whole store. $1.99, and I have been using, this is well loved. Can you see? Paint. I've got paint on it. I use it for everything. This is a tiny one. If you're only going to do one little project, this would be okay, but this is the one. This is my favorite. And I've got about 3 of these at home. But they've been used on wood. They've been used probably on my nails. But they get the job done very quickly.
Yeah.
Because they're very rough. So if you are going to be doing any sanding at all, that's the one you need. Okay, so this is still kind of, what's the word, fragile, because there's nothing to support it on this side. But we're going to, so I'm going to kind of hold it on my desk like this to sand this. But you want to get that excess paper off.
Somebody says they're washable.
They are. They are.
Wow. I did not know that.
Yeah, they're washable, but as you can tell with my orange paint on there, I probably didn't wash it. But you could. Kelly
It
said
is pretty
she's
that
washed
way.
it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to wash mine.
Yeah. Okay, I would probably not be spending camera time to do this, but it's kind of the part I have to do the next step. And since these are your only instructions, we have to do this. Okay, so can you see I'm kind of supporting this because it's not
still
supported on
dry.
the other side. And it's going to cover my jeans, and the person who has to vacuum this afternoon is not going to be happy with me. Sometimes I'll do it over a wastebasket.
I
Sometimes.
try, but it never goes in anyhow, so I just do it on the floor on
Yep.
my lap most of the time. You're
Yes.
right.
This is, look.
You forget to wear an apron. Sometimes I put an apron on in my craft room, usually when I'm spraying something,
Oh.
but when I do this, I never seem to have an apron on. You're hoping you're not wearing black pants.
Yes,
when
and
do
you know,
it.
what I have started to do is, in the winter, of course, I'll use my Tim Holtz splat box.
Yeah.
But for these projects, I don't know what the neighbors must think I'm doing, but I go out to the front yard and I lay them out and get my white paint and splatter them right in the grass. It's a very quick and easy way. Okay, so see, that's removing all that excess paper. It doesn't really take too long unless you're filming it and then you're going, oh my gosh, this
Yeah.
is taking forever.
I was going to show, this week we got in film strips and tickets from 49 and Market, and Maggie and I were looking at them this morning, and you get a whole bunch. This film strips are $3.99 in the package. You get a whole bunch of different sizes, and the stone one, if you're going to be doing some scrapbooking or card making, matches perfectly. And the ticket essentials If I can get the box open with one hand here, I'm not.
We found out
in
that stone
stone
is beautiful with
just
that.
looks really pretty with the paper as well. The tickets are super fun. I have a box of, I can't remember what the color is, but there's just all sorts of fun things on there. And you could add those on cards, which I'm going to do, or scrapbooking.
And had I had those,
Yeah.
when I
She
was
probably would've
designing
put one
this, I
on,
might
yeah.
have used those tickets. Okay,
Yeah.
so the back's going to look like this.
All right.
Again, see how I went around and made that frame. So we can ink the back of that. But see how I had to come in between those
You could
two?
use the little one there.
I thought of that. Totally. Okay, so now we've got this all. So now you've got your back, and again, it's not totally, you know, it could crack or bend, so kind of have to hold it carefully. All right, so the next step that we're going
brush
to
your
do,
pants off.
yes. Oh my goodness. The speaker or the
Oh, the microphone.
microphone won't be good. Okay, so I'm going to put this so I don't, again, I'm just going to put it in water, but okay. So the next step then is to put on some background texture. And on this one, I used Distress Texture Paste Matte. And as you can see, it doesn't crackle. It just gives you some texture. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I added this after I had added this little piece on there, which in these directions, you'll do this as your next step. So that sometimes I think, oh, it needs something, and then I should have done it before. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a palette knife. I did remember the palette knives, Teresa. They're over there. Clear over to the right. Clear over to the right.
Oh,
there we go.
They're white.
Yes, and we have packages of those in all different shapes and sizes. I think Tim Holtz has black ones also.
He has a
A
3-pack.
3-pack, yes.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, lots of different.
Good sizes.
Styles.
You got to find the style that you like. And maybe it depends on the project, too.
Okay, Teresa, I tend to use the pointed ones. You want to show those two sets. These are Tim's newest two sets. They come in the larger size.
Yep.
But they also come in a 3-pack, which I tend to like using for smaller projects. And the one that I'm going to use today, are you showing that one or the newest one?
This one?
No, the other one, that one right there. These are the 3 that comes in it, right here. And they are a little more geometrical than I usually use.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I like things that are a little bit more organic, like that speckles that we showed you earlier. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to try it. So
You have to
that's,
step outside your box sometimes.
yeah, sometimes we have to. So since they were his newest, I thought I'm going to try it. There's the squares, the circles, and this. And I'm trying to think which one. I use this one. So, but any stencil that you have and like, feel free to use it. It doesn't have to be the exact same one. Lots of times what I like to do is I want it to look random, but in this case, because it's geometrical, I'm not really wanting to go like this. You could, but to me it lends itself more towards this straight up and down. But you're not going to make it all perfectly rectangle anyway, so you're going to take some texture paste, and the one I chose to use is the matte, opaque matte, and you want it on the bottom of your palette knife. Now, I lined this up, but I don't want it to look real perfect, so I'm kind of going to go off the sides. You do not want to put this on clear up to this edge, because what will happen is you'll end up with this perfect square, and you don't want that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put some randomly on this corner, and then I like to flow down to this corner. So what I got this idea that I might go this direction so I can make it a little bit more flowing, that it doesn't look too squared off. So when you're putting it on, You're going to hold your palette knife at what, about a 45-degree angle. There's that math again. And you're going to put it on like this. And the one thing you don't want is you don't want it to be so perfect that you fill in every single part. So once you have some on, then you're going to just take your palette knife and 45-degree angle and scrape it off. Here's Tim's rule of thumb: if you cannot see your stencil pattern, you've got it too thick. So I like to put it pretty darn thin on projects like this. And then if I see a spot that, oh, maybe I want to add a little bit more. Okay, let's just see what this. So it's a little random. You don't have to cover all of every part. Scrape off. Can you see that?
Can't see it. I don't know how to make it.
Okay, let me hold this up. Can you see it? It's pretty wide.
There. Now I can see it. Okay.
Okay, so since it doesn't, you want it to be a little random, sometimes I will go and maybe just add a little bit more going down the side like that, scraping it off as you go. There, so it doesn't look so squared off. All right, then we're going to come down here. You're not covering the whole area. All right, so let's just, we want just a little bit here. Come across the bottom, scrape it off, and that's about all you need, just a little something going on. And this, because we scraped it off pretty thin, it shouldn't take too long to dry. And you can dry this. I don't like to do it. Okay, I'm going to show you a little trick about your stencils. Do not leave it over here and let this stuff dry. Same with on your palette knife. If you don't have time to wash it, drop it in some water so that it doesn't get dried out. Okay, so you can, the crackle you can't speed up. You've got to let it dry on its own. This we can speed up, so we're just going to, and we're going to keep it a little further away than 3 to 4 inches. We're going to keep it probably about 6 inches away. So if you like that geometrical look, I didn't mind it on here, but like I said, I tend to go towards the more organic ones, but I thought this looked kind of cool on it. So we're going to dry. Again, do not get it closer than about 5-6 inches, and keep your heat tool moving. If I were to just put this right there like that and hold it, we would have brown smoke here real soon. But again, you can speed this up. The crackle, you cannot. You've got to just let it do its thing.
Uh-oh, Kelly's watching.
Hi, Kelly.
She loves your project.
Kelly, you were the inspiration. Try using more than one coaster. Can you show her another one that I used 2 coasters over here?
There's the butterfly one. That's just a single round again. We'll go back over to this one. So cute.
That's my newest granddaughter. She was our COVID baby.
She looks so big.
She is turning 2 this next week, I think. Yeah.
And there's another one. It almost looks like a tag because you have that piece hanging off
Yeah.
with the ribbon. I like that look.
And that's what's nice about laying out your pieces, because it makes you try different things. That tag I cut off. And again, using your stash, I happened to find that stamp that I had stamped probably 5 years ago. And I thought, oh, I'm going to use it. So don't be afraid
through those
to
every
use.
once in a while.
Okay. I think we're getting that dry enough. Okay, so Teresa, you were saying you couldn't hardly see it because it's so white, but let's do something about that. We're going back to our pumice stone.
How long do you think it takes to dry if you're just drying on its own?
With this kind and as thin as it is, in an hour you'd be able to.
Okay.
continue. Okay, what I'm going to show you is how I like to put my ink on when I've got distress texture on there. Is I like to work in one direction, and you don't put any pressure on your blending tool, because you don't want to ink behind the texture. You want to ink the texture. And the reason I'm going one direction instead of going like this or like this is I want it to get a little shadowing effect, and it will shadow the top part and be less, you know, so it will catch those edges and it will look more shadowy. Same way with this one, we're going to go this direction because we want those shadows to, but see how it picks up that color, and I'm not putting any pressure on those. I'm just going across because I just want to get the surface.
You don't know where you got that stamp, do you? Do you remember?
Which stamp? That is a Tim Holtz. It's a very old Tim Holtz stamp.
Yeah,
And
I don't recognize it.
Yeah, it's a very old one. It's probably out when I first started working here.
It would take us a while, but they say you can still get them, but I don't know.
Yeah, I knew when I used it, but I just wanted you to see that. Look through, I think, Teresa, you said this too, or I was reading it. When you are stamping, stamp a couple extra.
Yeah.
And just keep them for your stash. Okay, again, this is always in one direction, and I'm kind of going across. See how that adds just a little bit of texture?
Yeah, makes it pop. We
Yeah.
can see it now. Or I
There
can
you
see
go.
it. I don't know.
Okay, now the one thing I wanted to share with you is this is still kind of one-dimensional. So what I decided to do, and I would suggest that faded jeans looks really nice with this line, and pumice stone. Look at those two colors together. They look really nice. But I happen to have my Uncharted Mariner
Oh yeah,
sitting
it's
out.
a good blue.
And it kind of blends. So we're going to use Uncharted Mariner. If I would have had my faded jeans out, I probably would have used that. But this is what I wanted to do, is I'm going to add just a little blue. When I don't usually use colors for edging, I usually use my browns or my black. But sometimes if you mix your neutral with some color, then it's not quite so, I don't know, I call it in your face. I don't like to edge with color. But I thought it needed just a little bit of that blue coming through it. Just barely. Just enough to tie it all together. So that's why I added that.
And you were swiping in the same direction that you did before, I noticed.
Yeah. So you know there's barely anything there. Okay, so again, we're still working with something that could be bent. So let's move on to this. And we're going to add this third coaster. Kelly, aren't you excited about 3 coasters? Okay, so I didn't want it right in the middle. So I believe, just so I'm showing you the correct way, I think it was about 3/4 of an inch, and I matched up these edges mainly because when you set this on a coaster or on an easel, you want that to kind of match up. So I would say we're going to put it about right there, and I think I have it upside down, so not that anybody would notice. But look at how quickly these brushes brush that on. Again, can you see I don't brush it in. I just kind of lay it on there very quickly, but I get to the edges. You don't want stuff squishing out, but
You get the big blobs, but
yeah. But that's thick. I mean, not thick, but it's not pressed in.
you want it to stick.
Yes. So I'm going to put that about right there. Now, if you're making this and you want yours to be somewhere else, feel free.
That's going to stabilize it.
And that will stabilize the whole thing. Now you've got something that's not going to fall apart, or it's much more stable by having that on there. Okay, so the next part is I made this is in your kit. You have a kind of a taupey gray. I think it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And then I'm going to use another tool I didn't, or I did like that one. I got that one. Paper distresser.
Those are $6.99.
This does two things. It distresses your edges, but it also opens those fibers. And when you open the fibers of the paper, it accepts ink better. Okay, so we're going to go back to our pumice stone. What did I do with
It's over there.
where's the other one?
The blue?
Yeah, I had two.
There's one on top of the blue.
There it is. Got it. Okay. Just want to make sure I didn't use the blue. Okay. Again, hold it in your hand. If you lay it down and do this, you're going to end up with this brown frame, and all we want to do is edge it. But see how when you expose those papers or the edges, it soaks it up. And again, remember how I said I kind of go across the corners? Softens the corners. Okay. So this is, I glued that on there. I knew there was a reason why I didn't put my brush back in the water. Okay, so I glued this one on. Oh, this is the little thing I wanted to tell you about. When you're gluing this on, you don't want to go all the way to the edge. Just glue, up to about a 1/2 inch. And two reasons. One, it kind of makes it look like it's not perfectly glued down, but also when you put that clip in, you have a place for it to go behind.
Oh.
So we're going to put that on there.
You could probably use this on canvases too, right?
Matte medium?
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah. For putting paper on canvases, yes. Again, anything that's a little porous, you tend to need to put it on a little thicker than you think. Okay. So this is where the fun begins, because you get to start playing. And because I've already used some of this stuff to make these 4 things, I have a little bit less to choose from, but that's okay because there's so much. So before the video, I kind of pulled some things that I thought I might want to use. Let's say I wanted to make this a picture of me and my friend, or my friend and I. Then maybe I'd like this up here, like this. And then, let's see, rather than maybe the square one, maybe we would put the round one over here. And I don't have any more hearts, so maybe I would use a small butterfly.
Okay, this is so funny. She has these that she pulled out that she was going to use, but what is she doing? She's pulling from this pile over here. I'm just laughing.
Yeah, I kind of pulled these.
I don't know if you guys could see it, but I could see it. The wheels are turning, you guys.
Yes. Okay, so see?
I like that.
I like that. And so this is the part that the play comes into. And so, let's see. Friends, how about, remember this. How about if we add that right there? And you know what? Sometimes when you're putting things together, it doesn't look like it should because you haven't inked it. And once you ink it, I like that better. Photographs, and see, I just swapped this out of the beige one and put it in the blue. And there's lots of different ways you can do that. Let's see, there's that darker, which I like that. I could put simply the best, or I could put this here like this and add that. You don't want to have too many words going on.
Yeah.
You want to have a focal point. So I would probably not choose any more words than what's here and what's here.
And I do like that. I've worked with these chipboard packages before, and the same thing. Some of the circles are plain.
Yes.
So you could always put a rub-on there, where's my finger?
Yes,
You can
yes.
put a rub on. You've got the frames. You know, you've got the blank tab. You could put a rub on or stamp something.
And those
yeah,
rub-ons
the
would
butterflies, the hearts. So it's a nice variety. I mean, they give you good words, but you don't want words on everything.
Yes, and
Ooh,
you
and
don't
a
want to
tag.
overdo it.
Yeah.
Now this is what I did here. I took 2 tags, and I just cut off the top pointy part. Put one up here and one down there. So I am without 2 pointy ones. But let's do this. Let's cut this tag. Tag doesn't always have to be a tag, right?
Yeah. And they're chipboard, so if you've got the Tim Holtz scissors, those will cut through.
Yes,
that
as I
chipboard
just
like
did.
butter.
Okay, so let's put maybe this here. And you know what? It comes with 2 sets of leaves. I used it here and I used it on that one. So I don't have any more leaves, so I thought what we could do is maybe some butterflies. And since we have one over here, we could add one over there. I think we don't need any more than that. Which do you like? Blue? That? Or that?
I think I like the brown one. I don't
Brown
know.
Okay, so you just kind of play. And if you want to, I cut one of the circles in half.
White one. That's bigger though.
Yeah, you could cut, let's see, I'm going to cut this darker
Cut
blue.
the circle in half?
Yes.
Ah.
And I put that there. And you could, let's see.
You could
What
cut
else
one
we
of
got?
these.
Oh, that's a great idea. Is there a darker blue one?
Just this.
You know, let's do this. I hate to do it. Do you like this blue better over here? Ooh,
That kind of pops more,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
I think I like that better than the round. So let's do this. Let's just do something fun and connect these two.
They like the blue butterfly better.
Oh my goodness, okay.
I missed that they were voting.
Hey, we'll take,
I didn't realize.
take
I
all
looked up,
the
I'm like,
advice.
blue, blue, blue. Why are they saying blue? Oh.
Okay, so
Oh, maybe they
let's-
meant the frame. I don't know. They just
Oh,
said blue.
the blue frame.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like the
okay.
blue frame.
I
yes.
do too.
Okay,
I do
let's
too.
go with that.
See, look
they
at
were
that.
talking about the frame.
See, isn't that, it kind of
Yeah, I
ties
like
those
that.
two together, or we could move it up here like that. And that's kind of cool too. Just kind of, you could just play with it. And what you would do, and I'm not going to go any further than this, but you would ink all of this, all the edges of this here. Again, if you wanted to put a little stitch mark on here, or
Now they're saying blue butterfly.
blue butterfly. Okay, let's try it. What do you think? What about this? What if we use the blue frame
And the tan butterfly.
and the tan butterfly?
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe we could use, see how much fun this is? And once these get inked, it's just a total different look.
Yeah. It'll all blend together.
I'll show you just inking one of these. But see how by inking these, it just brings it all together and blends it so it's not sticking out. And sometimes, depending on what it is, I'll go over the surface of it a little bit to tone it down. But look at how much fun you could sit around and maybe with your friends give them each coaster and dump out one of these bags and say, have at it, but
And make them fight over the blue
prepare
butterfly.
to fight. Yes. Okay. We could do that if we
Is
wanted
that
to.
the if you touch it rule or something?
Yes, it's yours. There. Okay, so another thing, this was an after the fact thing that I did. I decided it needed, I always like to add a little metal. So I decided it needed a little metal. I use these from my stash, but we do not have those. So the one I'm going to use, and I'm not even sure you can get that size. So here's what I do is I can either punch holes in this and put it through, or you can cut off, and Tim Holtz scissors are wonderful. And you can actually just glue that head too.
You could if you don't have those colors, you could use like the foundry wax
Ooh.
to change them to silver or gold, or the what's the Sizzix luster wax.
Yes.
You know, if you've got like a white brad or a tan brad or something.
Yes.
I don't
Oh,
know
I
how
never
they do
thought
on a
about
pink
that.
brad, but you can change the colors of your brads.
Yeah, so these are really little, but it just adds that little bit of metal. Let me turn it around. I can't get it turned around. I need tweezers, don't I? Oh, it sticks. There we go. So that looks like a little. It adds just a little bit of metal to your
Maybe
to
you
your
only
project.
need one.
You might only need one on that since the butterfly's in the way, or you might have covered that and you would need it there. So maybe only one. You get two. I also, on one of my projects, I put the screw head at the bottom of that. On this project, I used some Nouveau drops.
Where did you put the screw head? Oh, there
Oh,
it is.
right there at the
right
top.
there. And then there's a splat of paint on it. So scrape that off with your fingernail.
I used a Nouveau drop. I think I used ivory seashell, and I put that there. And you could actually put one here if you wanted to, or on these hearts. It just adds a little dimension. Oh, I'd put them here too. You could use a brad, or you could use that. Dirty bronze might be kind of a neat color because then it would look like metal.
Whatever you have in your
But
stash.
okay, then once I see how much better this looks toned down, inked.
Yep.
So you would ink all of these pieces and just glue them down. But see how this little bit of blue just kind of makes your eye go from here, and I added a little bit. I would probably not have used that blue around the edge without using the brown with it, because I just think brown looks so much better. But then once that's all glued down, I even brought a little photo. And then what you would do is, I like to use black and white with this. You would tuck that in there.
Perfect.
That's my son and his wife and baby. And then remember how we left this unglued?
Yep.
That helps to add this. And what you could do is, if you were making this as a gift, you wouldn't glue down the photo. You would just attach it like that, so then they could change out a photo if they wanted to.
You forgot to splat the paint.
The what?
Are you going to put the paint on it?
I'm not going to actually do it, but I'm just going to show how I did
Okay.
it. Okay.
I'm
so
like, don't splat your photo.
no, in fact, this is what I did. I got this on here, and I thought, oh my gosh, now I have to splatter white paint. So you know what I did? I took a sticky note and just laid it over
covered
the
it.
photo. And
I've had to do that too.
Yeah, it worked fine. So see, this is out of that same package, and now we have another one. And we still have, look at all this stuff.
Yeah.
So you can go a little darker. I think I added more darkness to it, or you can leave it a little lighter. But the splattering of the paint, basically, you use a Tim Holtz splatter brush. And what I do, they come in two sizes, but this is a good size.
They come in two sizes?
There used to be a bigger one, a big one.
Oh.
I don't know whether he's discontinued that or not. $7.99, but they're made with just plastic bristles. I think that's just plastic. And so what you do is you take a little bit of white paint. You can do it right on your splat mat. You can go outside in your grass, or you can use the Tim Holtz splat box or a box, lay it in there. And what I like to do is I like to just mist my white paint like once, just to dilute it a little bit, because if your paint's too thick, it will end up getting too big of spots. And then just go like this, and what I suggest is to practice it on a piece of, I like to use a paper sack so you can see it. And then I just hold it straight up and down and just pull back like that. And it should shoot out this way.
Show your technique.
Okay, so I hold this straight up and down. And again, once you've tapped into paint, tap it off and then pull back, and it should shoot out this way. So if I were going to be doing this, I would tap my paint, tap it off a little bit, practice it on a paper sack just so you get a feel for it. And then I would pull it back like this and go like that.
And about how far do you hold
Oh,
it?
about like what you're seeing right here.
About 5
Yep.
or 6 inches maybe.
And, you know, and I'm more than willing to show it if you think we have the time. But I don't have these glued down. So the thing I like about the white paint is in the winter, if you're doing a winter scene, it gives it a Christmassy vibe or a winter vibe like this, kind of. But even if it's not winter, it just pulls the whole project together.
Yeah.
And it brightens it. For some reason, when I didn't have the white paint, it looked a little dark. The minute you splatter some white paint on there, it just comes to life.
Yeah.
So
Lots of hearts.
yes,
Question, so the stencil does not come with the kit.
no. And you do not have to use the
Yeah.
same stencil as I did. This is Tim's new
This
3
is the
set.
new one.
But you can use any stencil that you have.
Yeah. The other one is the brown. So someone asked what the brown squares were. It's the stencil. Brown squares.
Oh, okay. Good question. All right.
Oh,
when
there.
I made this, again, when I was inspired by this whole Serenity line, I took home the 6x8 paper pad. And then I also took home this. So these are the 2 things I was working with. When we decided to make it into a kit, we gave everybody a full package of this, but it just wasn't economical, and it would have cost too much to put a whole paper pad into the kit. So what we did is on here, this I just substituted it with pieces cut from the 12 by 12.
So this was on the 6x8
Yes,
paper.
and I want to show you that. I really liked that paper, but it is in the paper pad, and I believe you get 3 or 4 sheets of that. But again, this will be a smaller scale, but you can't tell the difference that was a smaller scale and this is a bigger one. But there's so many pieces in here. Look at this. This just calls for a photo right there. But I wanted to show you what's in here. Many shades of blue, and I thought this would be a good background, that one right there. But I want to show you that one with the lines that I used.
Somebody wanted to know if you used just acrylic paint. I assume you
Yes,
did.
just white acrylic paint. Look at this for your background. Look at that. This is your gray, but I'm trying to find that.
I was going to say, are you going to find
I
the
know.
one you used?
See this? Oh, and I wanted to share with you before I find it. This comes in your paper pad, so you can cut out things to use. So
Nice.
if that bag of chipboard pieces is not enough, you've got that. Okay, I'm going to find it for you.
Do you remember what it looks like without all the other stuff on it?
It's more of a neutral background, and that's why I chose it. So if you want that look, it's in the paper pad. I promise you it is. Oh, there it is. And I just chose it because it was a neutral background. So it is in the paper pad, and I believe you get at least 2 or 3 of the sheets. So
Per pattern.
again, once you get this all inked and once you splatter it, it will all come together. This looks a little stark right now, but once it gets all inked and splattered, it will all come together.
Yep. And we
So-
do have some of those kits left, $17.99, right?
Yes, we do. And again, that will make this kit right here. But you will have so much chipboard
Just
pieces.
get some extra coasters is all you need.
Yes, yes, and get the
And a
different
stencil,
sizes.
some kind of stencil that you need.
Yeah. So again, in your kit, because I wanted to, I gave you an extra background sheet. So you already have, all you need is the coaster, and you have a background sheet to get started. Any
Lots
other
of hearts.
questions?
Nope, just lots of hearts, loving it.
It's so much fun to just play with. Just like you saw what we did, and there's just so much more. I thought this would be cool to punch a hole and put a brad or an eyelet here, and then you could make ornaments to hang on the tree. This is another, I have no idea where I got this, but it was in my stash, and so I cut it out. I thought it was a neat saying. But you could make ornaments out of the round ones. You could make ornaments out of the square ones too.
Yep.
Any other questions?
I don't think so.
You know, if I were going to maybe add you want to add a little softness, you could add a little piece of twine right here and tie a little bow to kind of soften it. But again, this looks kind of stark. Once you get it inked and all pulled together, it will all kind of flow. Any questions? Okay, well,
Nope.
thanks.
Yep.
I hope you enjoy doing the kit.
Yeah, I'll be here on Monday, and I'm showing the Elena card kit.
Oh.
So that's the, we're not doing any this weekend, are we? I don't think so.
No, and you know what I thought about? The Elena has the 6x8 pad.
Yes.
It has the chipboard pieces. If you like that color palette, you could do the same thing with that.
You could. Somebody mentioned that.
Same thing with the Christmas one.
They said they have all the 49 and Market stuff. They could do it with anything,
Yes.
any of these projects.
And the Christmas
yes.
line comes with the
Oh.
6x8 pad. And it
What a
comes
great
with
Christmas
the-
gift
Oh
idea.
my gosh, yes. And you know, even the Halloween, the Simple Stories Halloween, you get the 6x8 pad and you get the little ephemera.
Yep.
You could have so much fun just putting things together. Well, thank you for joining us today.
All right. See you Monday.